thank you so much for that very warm and kind introduction. And let me say what a great pleasure it is to be back here at Nazarbayev University. As was said, I'm the victim of Ambassador Fairfax here, who arranges a lot of very high-level meetings for me with government officials. But one of the real treats of coming to Astana is to come to Nazarbayev University and have the chance to interact with all of you. As was said, I had just a wonderful interaction the last time around, and had a very extensive question and answer period, and which I really appreciated and was so impressed by. And so my only request this time around was to have a chance to come back to Nazarbayev University. So I appreciate your hospitality. In many ways, Nazarbayev University embodies the hope and the promise of Kazakhstan's future. When it was first founded in 2010, President Nazarbayev envisioned that it would prepare the best and the brightest of future generations in technology and the sciences to assist in the development of Kazakhstan. And although you have a relatively young history, I must say you're well on the way to accomplishing just that. I was so pleased to hear of the new partnerships that are already being developed and how far you've really come in 2 short years. Indeed, the university is becoming a world-class institution that combines the advantages of Kazakhstan's national education system with the best of international research and education. Nazarbayev University has established cooperative programs with 9 world-class institutions, many of them US universities, and counts now 182 foreign professors on its faculty. And we were very pleased to learn that the university recently expanded its cooperation in January by signing a memorandum of cooperation with the Colorado School of Mines. And indeed, I think there's a lot of opportunities in the mineral sector here, so that's a terrific new opportunity. The numerous interactions with international professors, either in the classrooms or virtual seminars, really enrich the academic experience for students and faculty on both sides of the exchange. And I'm sure that the foreign faculty here learn just as much from all of the bright Kazakh students with whom they work every single day. And so for that reason, the the university stands as a real model in the region for educating global citizens in an increasingly interconnected and global economy. We are attaching a great deal of importance to expanding our educational ties, our exchanges, and our dialogue with Kazakhstan's young people. In the past academic year alone, 1,859 Kazakh students have studied in the United States. Some of these participated in programs such as the Fulbright, Humphrey, and other university graduate programs. Others are part of the prestigious Bolashak program, and I know many of you have been part of that, sponsored by the government of Kazakhstan. And we are pleased to count among them over 720,000 students, international students, who are now studying annually in the United States. Our cooperation in this field is not limited to students traveling abroad for study. U.S. universities are research partners here as well. The University of Pittsburgh Medical Center is a partner in the Center for Life Sciences. The Center for Energy Research partners with Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory, and the Center for Educational Policy has a partnership with the University of Pennsylvania. So again, I congratulate you on that. This dynamic, growing partnership in education is part of a much broader relationship between our countries. Our partnership with Kazakhstan has grown dramatically over the last 20 years, as Kazakhstan has become a regional and increasingly a global leader. Kazakhstan served as the chair of the Organization for Islamic Cooperation in 2012, was chair of the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe in 2010, and is now on the cusp of joining the World Trade Organization, and it's taken the lead in Central Asia in embracing the vision of regional integration. Non-proliferation is perhaps the most stellar example of what we can achieve together. On non-proliferation, cooperation, and nuclear security, Kazakhstan's record stands second to none. In the 20 years since the Semipalatinsk nuclear test site was closed, Kazakhstan has established itself as a world leader in the fight against the threats of nuclear proliferation and nuclear terrorism. It has eliminated or removed from its territory all nuclear warheads, completely dismantled the infrastructure of the Semipalatinsk test site, and destroyed or removed hundreds of missiles, bombers, and tactical nuclear warheads. The United States has been proud to support these through the Cooperative Threat Reduction Program. And we are keen to recognize Kazakhstan's efforts as we deepen our bilateral relationship. In 2002, we upgraded our relations with Kazakhstan to a strategic partnership dialogue. President Obama personally expressed his appreciation and support for Kazakhstan during his meetings with President Nazarbayev at the Nuclear Security Summits in Washington in 2010 and in Seoul in 2012. And indeed, Kazakhstan has displayed extraordinary leadership in curbing nuclear proliferation in the region and around the globe. Kazakhstan stands as a powerful counterexample to Iran, where the international community has serious and legitimate concerns about the nature of the regime's nuclear activities. We are serious about our efforts to seek a diplomatic resolution, and our government has made clear publicly and privately that we believe there's time and space for diplomacy. And that is why, with Kazakhstan as a gracious host, we continued our engagement with Iran in 2 rounds of P5+1 talks in Almaty. Let me now turn to Afghanistan, a topic that is increasingly salient, as I will join Deputy Secretary of State Burns to attend the Heart of Asia Ministerial in Almaty in 2 days' time. Afghanistan is a country that faces many challenges, but where there's also room for cooperation and regional dialogue. As we go forward with transition in Afghanistan, I know the end of the current ISAF mission in 2014 has increased unease in Kazakhstan and the region. And I want to reiterate that despite the challenges, no one doubts the importance of our mission and what is at stake. And I want to reassure you that the United States will remain committed to Afghanistan and the region through 2014 and beyond. At the NATO summit in Chicago in May of last year, the international community and the government of Afghanistan agreed to fund the Afghan National Security Forces at a level of about $4 billion per year in the period after 2014. In July, international leaders met again in Tokyo and pledged over $16 billion in civilian aid from more than 70 international donors. And we will continue to consult very closely with regional partners like Kazakhstan at every step of the transition process to maintain unity of effort and transparency. Kazakhstan plays an indispensable role in supporting coalition efforts and building a brighter future for the people of Afghanistan. We have welcomed Kazakhstan's decision to contribute $2 million per year to the sustainment of the Afghan National Security Forces, to fund infrastructure projects in Afghanistan, and to extend until 2018 its program to educate Afghan students in Kazakhstan. These are significant contributions that demonstrate how Kazakhstan and other important donor nations have rallied to support Afghanistan and the region. As I said earlier, Kazakhstan is playing a critical role in the Istanbul Heart of Asia process and will host the next ministerial in Almaty. The process calls for ongoing political dialogue between regional actors, the implementation of confidence-building measures, and fostering synergy among regional organizations with the goal of increasing regional cooperation to encourage greater peace and stability in Afghanistan. The ministerial in Almaty will be a key step forward in ensuring a prosperous future for Afghanistan. And we are grateful for Kazakhstan's continuing dedication to Afghanistan and its leadership demonstrated by its decision to host this important ministerial. Beyond hosting this important meeting, Kazakhstan has been a very strong advocate, indeed the strongest advocate in the region, of the New Silk Road vision of strengthening economic and commercial linkages across South and Central Asia to connect the region more closely with the rest of Asia and Europe. A stable, secure, and prosperous Afghanistan can only exist in a secure, stable, and prosperous region. And the more Afghanistan is integrated economically into its regional neighborhood, the more it will be able to attract private investment, benefit from its mineral resources, and provide economic opportunity for its citizens. But the New Silk Road is not just about Afghanistan. It is about building opportunities throughout the region, from Astana to Amritsar and beyond. We see this vision becoming reality first through trade liberalization, as governments reduce non-tariff trade barriers, improve regulatory regimes, introduce transparent border clearance procedures, and coordinated policies. And second, through investments in energy, transport, communications, and other infrastructure to connect goods, services, and people. For instance, Kazakhstan is playing a lead role in promoting greater economic integration, with particular emphasis on economically empowering women. Led by Kazakhstani businesswomen and parliamentarians, a regional women's business association for Central Asian and Afghan women entrepreneurs was recently launched in Astana in December of 2012. With branches now in all 6 countries, it will link women's business organizations across borders to build skills, improve access to finance, boost intergovernmental cooperation, and develop business and trade opportunities. Organizers are now reaching out to engage governments and business networks in each of these countries. We also see the New Silk Road vision being realized through forums like CARIC, the Central Asia Regional Economic Cooperation Program of the Asian Development Bank. Again, Kazakhstan has played a great leadership role in advancing CARIC initiatives to transform the region through robust transport corridors, energy infrastructure, and liberalized trade to drive economic growth. By 2020, the CARIC program will have mobilized more than $20 billion to improve 6 transport corridors traversing Central Asia that will link the economic hubs of Europe, the Russia Federation, with East Asia, South Asia, and the Middle East. We're also working to increase regional integration through the WTO accession process. Kazakhstan is hard at work on its accession process, and we're hopeful that Kazakhstan can join its neighbors Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan in the WTO in the very near future. Afghanistan also is making progress towards becoming a member, and Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan have shown interest in joining the WTO. We strongly support the WTO aspirations of all these countries for one very simple reason. The interest of all the countries of Central Asia, of the wider region, and of the United States are served by open, inclusive, and transparent trade regimes. Kazakhstan's efforts to join the WTO attest to the extraordinary economic progress it has made in the last 2 decades. But our relationship includes other important areas. As the breadth and the candor of our relationship with Kazakhstan and other Central Asian countries has expanded, so have opportunities for greater dialogue on human rights and democracy. It is our hope that Kazakhstan and all other Central Asian states will put into practice the values enshrined in their OSCE commitments, in the UN human rights treaties to which they've acceded, and in their own domestic laws. We continue to use diplomatic engagements to urge the government of Kazakhstan and other Central Asian states to address human rights and democracy concerns, and to ensure space for the peaceful exercise of fundamental rights, including those of assembly, expression, association, religious belief, and respect for ethnic minorities and fundamental worker rights. We also continue to emphasize that respect for the right to free speech, free media, and peaceful worship reduces the appeal of violent extremism and contributes to sustainable and effective governance in the long term. Institutions like a free press and an active civil society, far from being threats, are valuable feedback mechanisms that can help governments be more responsive to the wishes of their citizens. Likewise, strengthening the rule of law and democratic institutions will help build transparent and predictable political and investment climates that can promote economic growth, benefiting all the citizens of your countries. We are also exploring ways to increase our people-to-people ties with Central Asia and among Central Asians. Over 40,000 Americans and Kazakhstanis have participated in State Department-sponsored bilateral exchanges over the last 20 years. These people-to-people ties represent one of the most powerful mechanisms we have to build a more peaceful and prosperous future. As we encourage a freer flow of goods, ideas, and people across the borders of Central and South Asia, we are mindful of the need to address pressing problems at those borders. One is the flow of narcotics. A substantial portion of the opium and heroin produced in Afghanistan flows northward across the porous borders of Central Asia to Russia and beyond. While we are working hard with Afghanistan to deal with its domestic production problem, we're also increasing our cooperation with partners in Central Asia in a multi-pronged, reinforcing approach to strengthen border security, reduce corruption, and share information in order to stem the flow of narcotics. And we're working with Kazakhstan and other partners in Central Asia to address the threat of global terrorism. Our bilateral engagement in this area includes efforts to build the capacity of governments in the region through programs such as the Anti-Terrorism Assistance Program, which provides technical assistance, training, and equipment designed to help boost the counterterrorism capacity of law enforcement bodies in partner nations, and through the Central Asia Regional Initiative, through which we are seeking to address cross-border security and terrorism-related issues by engaging the local community, including police, youth, and community leaders. As I look ahead, I'm optimistic about the future of the region and confident the United States will continue its commitment to the stability and growth of Central Asia. Today, we enjoy regular, sustained contacts with Kazakhstan and all of the Central Asian states on a broad and deep range of issues. The agenda and candor of our dialogue increase every year. Our cooperation in the region in the areas of economic development, health and education, women's empowerment, border security, counter-narcotics, democratic reform, and strengthening civil society will continue to play an important role in advancing our mutual objectives. And all of you represent the future leaders of Kazakhstan as we look ahead. I envision that all of the cooperation that I described will continue to grow. And as members of the first generation of an independent Kazakhstan, it is you who will shape your country, the region, and the world. And as I look around me, I have great hope for what is to come. So again, I really want to thank you for giving me this opportunity today, and I look forward to a very open question and answer period. So thank you again for this chance.
Thank you.